couple questions that I have at the end of it that you can answer.
Okay. So we go ahead and get started.
Did you want me to, are you gonna do an intro or tell me when you're ready for me?
You live. So I'm ready for you.
You share my screen, I guess do screen share.
Oh, my fault. All right, but I'm Hassan Diggs, the president of Black Professional Men. We're here with our partner with iMentor. You can kind of introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Shakira Smiler. I am Director of Mentor Engagement with iMentor Baltimore. All right, so again, thank you all, and thank you to Black Professional Men for this second year of our partnership. We're looking forward to this school year, and we hope that some of you all will consider becoming mentors with us. I think we have 3 members of Black Professional Men who are mentors with us now. And so we definitely need more male volunteers. So what I'll do is I'll just tell you a little bit more about iMentor. I'll go through PowerPoint presentation with high-level information about the org, the time commitment, and then we'll spend some time from Hassan, because Hassan is actually one of our mentors, and so he'll talk a little bit more about his experience. And then I'm assuming, Hassan, you can let me know, is there, like, I don't know if people are logged in or watching now, but you'll look at the chat and any questions that might be there.
Yes. We typically have a person that works with us to do that, but I am Long Ranger today.
Okay. So if there are any questions, then we'll do our best. But if not, you can always email me or Hassan, and we can definitely follow up to answer any questions you might have. So I'll kick us off to tell you more about iMentor as an organization. We are a national nonprofit, and we actually just launched in Baltimore last fall. And so what we do is we match college grads with high school students in a long-term one-on-one mentoring relationship. One of the things that makes iMentor unique from several, different mentoring organizations that exist is our whole school model. And so what that means is if you think about students who have mentors or students who get support the most, it tends to be the students who are the high achievers, who have like really good grades, who, show up for office hours and meet with the counselor and ask for help. And it's also the students who need the most help and the students who aren't doing so well. And so what we do is we match all of those students plus the students somewhere in the middle with a mentor. And our mantra, kind of our slogan, is that iMentor believes every student deserves a champion. And so that's evident because we match all of the students at our partner schools with a mentor. We exist because of our country's history of racism and inequity, and we see it happening. It's definitely something that's not new, though. And so we started 20 years ago with the hope that through mentorship, we'd be able to change the trajectories of some of the students that we're serving, or all the students that we're serving, really, in our program. We talk to students and make sure that students are aware of the opportunity for them to go to college. And so there's a lot of conversation on whether we should encourage students to go to college, or if it's something where, you go to college and you graduate with a lot of debt. And so is it something where we should help students to even go? And we 100% stand by encouraging students to go to college. There's so many benefits of going to college, including, just having access to different job opportunities that give you access to healthcare, being able to meet people from different parts of the world, expanding your own network, like being able to network with professors and faculty and other students who can then help you set yourself up. But we also know that not every student will choose to go to college for a variety of reasons. So in addition to encouraging students to apply to college, we also want to make sure that they are aware of whatever pathway is going to be the best fit for them. So if we have a student who is interested in, going into the military, right? Or whatever they might want to do, we want to be able to help those students and support them along that way as well. So we partner with different organizations in the city. So NCORE, certificate programs, Year Up, to help inform students of their pathways if they're not going to go to college or if they're not going to go to college right away. In Baltimore, for every one high school guidance counselor, there are 340 students that they are servicing. And so what often happens is, I mentioned this before, but not every student is going to get all the attention that they need to be able to get every question answered and fully understand what's going to be the best path for them. And so through mentorship, we're able to take that 1 to 340 and make it a 1-to-1. So we partner with 2 key schools in Baltimore City. We're going to be working with Baltimore Design School over in Greenmont West again, as well as AAC Academy for College and Career Exploration, which is in Hamden. And so beginning their 11th grade year, all of the students at both of those schools will get matched with a mentor. The mentors are really put in a place where you are set up to succeed. And so part of that includes a guided curriculum. So each week you will know what to talk to your mentee about. You're not trying to figure out what to say or figure out a topic. We've outlined that for you. So all you do is just kind of read the prompt and respond to it. We also do a 1-to-1 match. So it's not something where you're working with 3 or 4 different students. You really get a chance to meet one student, invest in that student, watch them grow, build a relationship with them, and then grow that relationship over time. We have full-time staff people that support the peer relationship. So in addition, you know who your point person is. You have questions or concerns, or you need to reach someone, you know exactly who to go to, and that person's role is to be there to support you as a mentor, as well as to support the development of your relationship with your mentee. With the organization, some of the data that we talk about is, one, in high school nationally, 78% of students are graduating. In iMentor, 82% of our students graduate high school. 54% of students graduate from college nationally, and then 73% of iMentor students graduate from college. Enroll in college. And then graduation from college, only 25% of students actually graduate from college, but 45% of our students graduate from college. So right there, that kind of shows you like people are enrolling in college, but not graduating. So part of the work of the organization too is to support the students when they are in college so that they can actually complete that degree. Mentioned our 2 partner schools, but again, they're going to be the Academy for College and Career Exploration and Baltimore Design School. So we're really excited about this partnership. These are our founding partner schools, and we're going to continue to work with them this upcoming year. We also have relationships and partnerships with different community organizations. So obviously Black Professional Men is one of our community partners, but we also have partnerships with Baltimore City Schools, Morgan Stanley as a corporate partner, PwC, the Latino Providers Network, and there are several other orgs that we work with. We recruit mentors from local community organizations, churches, neighborhood associations, colleges, companies, and so you don't have to be affiliated with a specific organization to mentor with us. We just kind of utilize these organizations as partners because they also have a commitment to the community and to serving students and youth. All right, so what are you actually signing up for if you become a mentor? Mentors send 1 weekly email to their mentee, and then you attend 1 monthly pair event. With COVID, the program is actually going to be entirely virtual through the fall. Before COVID, we would have in-person pair events that happened at the student's school once a month from 5 to 7 p.m. on a weekday. And each school kind of had their own day that they did it, but you would know ahead of time what your schedule would look like for your pair events. This fall, again, it's all going to be virtual, so there will be Zoom meetings that you have once a month with your mentee, and then you write to them once a week. The writing is done on our online system, so you actually don't even have to use your own personal email address. You just log into that. Again, you see what you're supposed to write to your mentee about and what you're supposed to talk about, and you respond to it. And that's the time commitment. Once a week, you do an email. Once a month, you talk to your mentee. We have it so structured where you literally just plug and play. Like you show up, you're told kind of here's what you should talk about with your mentee. And then the program managers also help to coordinate a date and time for you to meet with your mentee. So you also don't have to like coordinate that on your own either. We match pairs based on the mentor's application. So to become a mentor with us, you do go through an application process. And so we'll look at your background, your interests, not just where you work or what your job is, but like, do you like basketball? You know, do you like design? And so we'll look at different things about you as well as your mentee to determine like, you know, what can we look at that will ensure that you have a pretty good match. Mention, you know, the staff support, but also mentors within the program support one another. So we have what we call our mentor community. So this is where different mentors will have what we call mentor-led conversations where the mentors get together to talk with one another to kind of say, well, here's what's going on there. With my mentee, do you have advice? Are you noticing the same thing? We'll also do different events, happy hours. And so it's also good networking for you as a mentor, and you have that resource in addition to your staff resource. And you can also get matched with a friend. So let's say you have a friend who you want to mentor with your friend. We can make sure that we match you both with a student who attends the same school. So definitely, we highly encourage people to mentor with friends. We have, you know, fathers and sons who mentor together. We have brothers. We have partners who mentor together. So it's really a good way, I think, for you to also encourage your network and encourage other people to get involved in the community because you're mentoring together. I'm going to show a video and hopefully the sound works.
This is my mentor, Meredith. So she is a strong, independent woman.
This guy, this is Olamide.
This is my mentor, Marissa. She's a very supportive person and she's always there for me whenever I need like some help.
At iMentor, we want to help more students become the first in their families to graduate college. We partner with high schools serving low-income communities and match every student with a college-educated volunteer mentor. To do that, we have to find more people like you who want to give back, supporting a high school student on their journey to college.
I have never committed to something for 3 years before.
I looked around the room, saw that I was the oldest person, and was wondering if this was more a program for people in their 20s or 30s.
My biggest concern really was that I wasn't going to build a strong relationship with my mentee.
That all went out the window once I met Beresford.
Through this program, you get to get that big brother figure.
You just go up and then down, then that.
Our mentor pairs communicate once a week through our online platform and meet once a month at a group event that iMentor hosts. We know you're busy. The program is accessible and structured to make the most of your time and still get results.
Over the past year, I've actually gotten married, gone on my honeymoon, house hunting, all this stuff that's been going on in my life. I still had time to be involved with iMentor.
And you won't be in it alone. An iMentor program manager is there to guide you every step of the way. They know your mentee because they teach a weekly iMentor class, which helps them offer personalized support. And they're always there to connect you to the resources you need to be a great mentor.
It's like, don't worry, we got you. We know you're not trained in this, but what we want for you is your love and your emotional availability and your want to help.
As a first generation college student, I would say he's helped me in the fact that he's been through that.
iMentor students are nearly twice as likely as their peers to graduate college.
I want her to know that she's really smart and that she deserves to have everything in the world for her, you guys, and that she's powerful.
You know, I've learned a lot about what it means to be a connected citizen, I think, as part of this process. It means a lot.
It doesn't feel like work now. You know, it doesn't seem like I'm going out of my way to do this. You know, in fact, I look forward to it. It's probably one of the best parts of my life right now.
Every student deserves a champion. Become a mentor today.
that video just gave you a little bit more information and insight specifically from the voices of some of our mentors. And again, you'll be able to hear from one of our mentors, Hassan, in just a second. I did want to just go over, if you are interested in learning a little bit more and hearing more details about the program, you can come to one of our online orientations. The link to sign up for that, if you go to our website, imentor.org, and just kind of follow Become a Mentor, it'll take you right to where you need to go to sign up for an orientation. If you go to the website, it will also direct you to our online application, and then definitely encourage a friend to attend that with you, and so you can hear a little bit more information. So I'm going to introduce our executive director, Laura Green. She's on the call, and then I'll just ask her to share a little bit more, and then we will get to the meat of this, which is hearing from our mentor, Hassan.
Hey everybody, thank you, Shakira. Hey Hassan, BPM in the house. Thank you so much for hosting this on the first day of October. Can't believe September is gone. I apologize for being late. I'm not sure what was said already, but I just wanted to just say that we need 50 more men. Part of our model, and you'll hear if you haven't already heard, is we match young boys in Baltimore City Public Schools with men. We match young girls with women. So it's important for our mentoring model that guys step up. Women, we need you too, absolutely. But women, statistically speaking, volunteer at a higher rate than men. And this is an easy lift, guys. I was joking on social media earlier today, and I said I'm mentoring from my couch, but I really am. It's a pandemic. We're doing a lot of things virtually. You will be shocked how much fun you can have with us, and at the same time make a difference in the life of a person, of a young person in Baltimore City with very little inconvenience. And Hassan and some of the other mentors can speak about that firsthand. Thank you, Hassan, for being one of our founding mentors. We appreciate you for believing in us, taking a chance on us, and now being able to speak as someone who has done this. So thank you for that. Thank you for this opportunity. I just appreciate everybody who is tuning in and willing to learn a little bit more about this. Is important now more than ever with everything going on in our country, with everything going on in our city. Mentoring makes a difference. That's all I can say. So thank you again, and I'll turn it back over to you, Shakira.
Thanks, Laura. Okay, so Hassan, you are a mentor with us, and so you've been mentoring for the past year. So we're gonna ask you some questions, and I do want you to just be fully honest about your experience. Again, mentoring, it comes with its ups and downs, and highs and lows, and so we want you to tell it all, right? We want you to be honest with the people about what it's like being a mentor. And so I'm gonna ask you to first just, tell us a little bit more about you, where you're mentoring at, who you are. Tell us more about you.
All right, so I'm Hassan Diggs. I work for Department of Homeland Security, and I mentor in Baltimore. I live in South Anne Arundel County, close to Chesapeake Bay. And I take I would say a hike to get to my mentor, my mentee. And I do that, and I enjoy the ride because I feel like it's important. It's something that's needed. I take this personal because I feel like I was that kid that needed a mentor. So I've in every kind of mentor situation I've been in, I feel like I've gotten more out of it than I've given. In this situation here, it wasn't anything different. So talking with my mentee, I learned a lot. It's funny with this particular program, it's a 3-year commitment. So it's not just you go and you meet the kid and then you say, okay, that sounds nice, and you send him on his way. It's, a building blocks. So last year, my mentee was in 11th grade. And we're going through, the process of his grades and things he wanted to do, what colleges he was thinking about, and what criteria did he want to use in selecting the career field he wanted to do and the colleges he wanted to think of. More importantly, kind of navigating through the process of high school, the process of being, you know, a 16, 17-year-old kid, the process of having challenges and, you know, working to overcome your, overcome things or overcome your fears. So I feel like that was very rewarding.
Okay. So, I mean, you talked about how important it is for you to mentor. Is there anything in particular that motivated you? Like, did you have a mentor growing up? Did you wish you had wish you would have had a mentor? What is it that motivates you?
So my first mentor, at least I call him a mentor, was my correction officer when I had to do community service. So, you know, and I call him a mentor because even though he was in a position of authority over me and I was there against my will, he made me feel like I had choices, and he made me understand the point of being accountable. Mm. And so those were obviously stepping stones. And from that point, I was able to search out and get other mentors to assist me. And with each one of those opportunities was a great learning experience for myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's interesting that you kind of found mentorship in this person who can be intimidating, right? Or it can be, scary. So with your relationship with your mentee, like, how are you building trust with your mentee? Like, how are you kind of breaking down that barrier between, like, I'm this adult and this authority figure, but I'm also here to support you?
Sharing experiences that I went through, being careful not to give ideas of what he might want to try, mm-hmm. but just letting him know that everything that he's going to experience, he's not going to be the first one to experience it. Okay. And so, like, he was doing writing, and I gave him, now I'm not the best writer, but I gave him some techniques of how he can frame the information that he needed to write about. Okay. And as he was able to frame it and he was able to kind of put it in chunks, it made it easier for him to put it all together instead of him looking at the entire paper, trying to figure out how do I get from A to Z. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, a lot of what you all worked on pre-COVID, we had the peer events at the school, and it's like we have things going and it's building momentum, and then COVID kind of hit and slapped everybody in the face. So how have you navigated COVID and still, like, being able to find a way to, connect with your mentee? Have you found a way to connect with your mentee? Like, what, how are you maintaining your relationship, if at all, with COVID?
So with mentoring in programs like this, there's a lot of, I'm not going to say rules, but there's a lot of parameters, and I would say lines you don't want to cross. So I reached out to my mentee's mother a couple of times, but I know there's a platform that we have to communicate through. So I've been in communication with iMentor. So as soon as the students are back in their sessions and able to interact with that platform, I'm eager to get back engaged.
Okay. So your mentee is going to be a senior this year, right?
Yes.
Is there anything that you are looking forward to with your mentee as a senior?
Yes. So senior skip day, right?
You're gonna help your mentee skip school?
No, but I'm gonna talk to him about it, right? But finishing strong. I just remember that I was looking back at my high school years. I was so blessed with the people that I surrounded myself with. Now, there was people that was around me and the people who I was around. And for a lot of us, they could understand the difference with that. And so I want to be able to make sure he understands that the decisions that he make this year, more than any other year in high school, is going to follow him.
Okay. Is there anything that's challenging about like mentoring?
I would say some of the things that I would say that are challenging is understanding the boundaries, right? So as a mentor, you want to be able to, shelter your mentee from obstacles that they may experience. And even though you may want to, say, hey, don't do these things, don't do those things, you still want to be mindful of, their home life, because it's easy to say, you know what, you should go home, you should study as soon as you get home, get that out the way. But, as soon as they get home, they got a little brother, or, they have other responsibilities that may not be readily in front of you as being aware of as a mentor, but you just want to be, mindful of those things. And over time, you're able to, adjust and learn those things.
Okay. So, hi, Jonice. Welcome. And I see iPad ethnicities. I don't know who that is, but hello to you as well. All right, Hassan, a question for you. So, Laura mentioned that we need 50 women. Oh.
Hi, Sean Montague from Ethnicities.
Oh, hi. Hassan, I want to ask you one more question, and then I want to make sure if Jonice or anybody has questions that we can take their questions too. But I did want to hear from you. So Laura mentioned that we need 50 more men to mentor with us, and that is not a unique situation for iMentor. Every organization has struggled with identifying men to serve as mentors. So with being the leader of Black professional men in Baltimore City, can you talk a little bit about why do you think that is? What is it that is? Why do we see more women, particularly Black women, sign up rapidly to mentor, but with men, it's we don't see as many men, and particularly Black men, signing up to mentor. So what do you think that's about?
So I have a unique opinion, at least it's unique to me, right, on this, is when you look at individuals that are in schools, this generally are women. So when you look at white men, during the day, white men are at work. Now, when you look at who's participating in a lot of these programs that can occur at 3:30, 4 o'clock, you're looking at those men that are in those higher level positions that gives them more flexibility of their schedule.
Okay.
And so with that, when you look at a lot of Black men, a positive Black man, their schedule is in a heavy demand. However, if you are a positive, gainfully employed Black male and you're in Baltimore, a lot of times you may not work in Baltimore, or you may not be at that pecking order in your employment level that allows you that flexibility to just say, hey, I'm gonna dip out at 3:30 and go to the school.
Okay.
So so what I like about iMentor is it tackles a lot of those barriers. So if you are a man on the go and you're trying to go out and get it, right? You're trying to make the money, you can respond to your mentee at 11 o'clock at night, 2 in the morning, and it's going to be there waiting for him when he gets to school, right? So you can do that mentoring on demand. Now, one of the phrases that I've learned in the capacity of being the president of Black Professional Men is we need to allow the men to make their schedule and not break their schedule. So what does that mean? That means that a lot of times when a school wants people to come out, they're letting them know on Monday, hey, can you come out on Thursday? And a lot of times people can't adjust their schedule that quickly.
Mhm.
And so by having it set up where, hey, I think my session was the fourth or third Wednesday of every month. I was able to block that time off, whereas that nothing can be scheduled during that time frame.
Mhm.
So for me, I think that's the key thing when you're talking about trying to get, men in general into mentoring, is to be able to have it where they can make their schedule and have it so that they can easily align it to everything else that they're going through.
Okay, so definitely one piece is just the timing of it, and like you said, with I Mentor With Our program, you write once a week, but there's no set day and time that you have to write. It's basically like figuring out when you have time to write and doing it. And then with the pair events, they are intentionally after the typical workday. So they start in the evening because, again, people are working and we want to give people time to, be able to complete their job and then make it to mentor. So outside of those things, is there any other reason though, right? So like if we have it in place where it's like, okay, you can write whenever you want to, and like you can come during the evenings, but we're still struggling with men, is there anything else, or like, what else might be contributing?
You know what? I listened to Eric Thompson, and so I tried not to listen to the radio as much. So either I'm listening to Eric Thompson or I'm listening to an audiobook. And one of the videos that I was listening to, I want to say it was last weekend on my way to Baltimore, was nobody wants to be the first. They don't want to be, if a club starts open at 10 o'clock, nobody wants to be there at 10. They're going to go at 12 when everything is kind of jumping, right? So I hope that I took one for the team, right? I hope that I was, and there's a few other Black men there. So I hope that we were the first. And through our story, we're going to be able to show how easy it is, how convenient it is, and how impactful it is.
Okay. All right. Any questions? Let's hear from some other people. I've been talking a lot, but I want to get some other people to chime in with questions and thoughts they have, particularly around like Black male mentorship.
So you want any of us to talk? I know if they wanted to talk, but my question basically was, Hassan, what made you come up with this concept of basically mentoring and especially for your community, and what made you become a mentor?
So what made me become a mentor in this particular program is I feel like it worked. And, I shared, my reservations because I'm not a fan of one-to-one mentoring because it's a single point of failure. And, it's hard to say, okay, if you're going to be there at 3:30 and you get a meeting thrown on your calendar at 3 o'clock for your vocation, you have to be there, right? So then now you're not able to be there with that particular kid. And even though you have a great explanation or a great excuse, it still doesn't replace the feeling that kid is feeling at that time. And so with this particular situation or this particular program, I feel like those kind of situations were more limited. Whereas, 80% of it is virtual. So no matter what, you have more time to make sure that you're able to deliver.
That's a good question, Jonice.
So
and I'm not saying your name right. Is it Jonice?
So with Jonice, what she's going to be doing, and I'm glad that she's able to call in, is she's going to be calling all of our members. And since we are streaming this, we're instantly recording this, and she's going to be able to include this video in the message that she sends out to all of our members. So all of our members will be able to get this presentation. And when she follows up with them, she can see which ones want to get more information and sign up.
Great. Hassan, you talked about, I mean, obviously the time commitment and being busy. So how are you making that work? Like, how are you balancing everything? We hear the dog in the background. We know, like, you know, you're an entrepreneurial family. You're working and you're mentoring. Like, how are you balancing?
He's a robot.
So, you know, there's a running joke in the organization that I am the Tommy of the organization. I don't have a job. But like I said, so a lot of it is time management. I mean, literally, you know, in the evenings when I'm winding down, I set a reminder, and I go in and check my messages. And so it's like a little kid, you know, all right, did he respond yet? Or did he have a question? And sometimes when I read the questions and their responses, I have to really think. And so sometimes it takes me a few days to actually respond to it, because you just don't want to put a simple, you know, whatever comes out of your mind response, you know, because obviously this is what, you know, your mentee is going to have to use, and then they're going to build on. A lot of the conversations you have they're stepping stones. And, you know, so sometimes it may call for them to refer to your previous responses when they are making the response to the next item. Or at least that's my opinion.
Okay, so you just time it really well, and you just like set reminders to go do it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I call it, you know, you're able to put mentoring into a pocket and pull it out, and everything is there.
Mm-hmm. But what it also sounds like is you just prioritize mentorship, right? So there is finding the balance, but it also has to be something that is important enough to you to weave it into your schedule, because we all make time for the things that we find most important to us.
Yes, we do. And so one of the things I've learned as the president, you know, of this great organization is a lot of times people don't do things because they don't want to do things. A lot of times they don't do things because they're afraid of not being able to do it. And to be a mentor is a big responsibility. If you're, you know, it's a big responsibility. And I would say that people who do get into this program, please don't take it lightly, but take the opportunity.
Yeah. And part of it is just show up, right? So I think sometimes we also overthink it. So it's like you feel like you have to say the exact right thing and like word things perfectly, or you're going to screw this kid up. And it's like, no, just be yourself, just be authentic. And like, we've all been teenagers. So it's also like, okay, well, when I was that age, what was on my mind? Like, what was I thinking about? What was I concerned about? And like, don't forget those things, and like feeling like I have to be perfect, or feeling like I have to like be this ideal version of myself so this kid can have someone to look up to, when essentially they just want somebody to, you know, they just want you to be you. They just are looking forward to having someone who's talking to them.
Yeah.
Say it again, Janice.
Even to have somebody that give them attention.
Yes.
You know, and that's a good thing that they like. They love to be around people that give them attention. They can learn something from, because sometimes in their environment, they don't have anybody of a good example. You can leave that great impression on them, and they're going to take that down and be like, oh, wow, now I want to be a mentor. So, yeah.
Yep. And that's so
I agree.
like, mentoring is not about you, right? It's about the person that you're mentoring. So really it's like showing up for them, like learning who they are is so key. And then once you realize like, oh, this isn't about me, it's about them. I feel like a lot of times it's so much easier to like build that relationship and like mentor when you don't make it too complicated and don't like overthink it, and literally, like Joni said, just give the student attention, show up, be you, and boom, you're a mentor. Hassan, do you agree, or do you feel like it is like more complicated than that?
I feel like it is simple. Yeah, I feel like it is simple. Yeah, so a lot of times you don't have to overcomplicate it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of overcomplicating things. So this is really plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
This is really plug and play. So if our team wanted to become a mentor, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 3 steps, what do they need to do?
Attend an orientation. It's online. It's about a little over an hour. Complete an online application. And then there's an interview and you got to get fingerprinted. We will walk you through all of that though. So like literally, once you come to orientation, someone will send you an email and tell you, okay, next you do this, next you do that. But the hardest hurdle I think for the mentor is like, once you get through orientation, the rest is like, you do a quick interview, complete your online application, and then you schedule your appointment to get fingerprinted. And we let you know when there's a match for you. Now, and we're this year, and about the end of, it's October now, right? So end of this month, we'll begin matching mentors with juniors for this upcoming year.
Now, I will say, compared to other mentoring programs, y'all make it easy. And what I mean by that is, y'all set an appointment where we can go to a location and get fingerprinted. So we don't have to go hunt for a location to get fingerprinted. We don't have to go buy the fingerprinting cards.
You don't have to pay for it either. We cover the cost of it.
So that's, I could say, y'all take out all of a lot of the barriers that a person would say no. You take that out. So this is why I feel like, obviously this is the first one, and we're going to do this through the month of October. And I feel strongly with our team that we should be able to hit that 50 mentors.
I hope so. We're going to hold y'all to it. And the good thing is, again, we need mentors upcoming school year, but this is our second year of the program. So this is going to be a long-term thing. So we're going to need mentors this year and next year and the year after that too. So I'm excited about this being a long partnership. BPM.
Okay. So do you mind sharing what incentive are you providing people who sign up to become a mentor within this time frame?
So, do we have anybody who joined the session? We were doing, like, if you attended today's info session and you signed up to become a mentor, like, you would get a gift card. Right now, if you are affiliated with Black Professional Men and you sign up to become a mentor by the end of October 31st, you will get a gift card as long as you indicate, BPM on your application. But if you are a man who's affiliated with another organization, we definitely want you to become a mentor as well. So we don't want to have to pay men to sign up to mentor. So definitely sign up even without the incentive, but the perk to our BPM partners will give you a gift card if you sign up by October 3rd.
There's the little poke there. No.
Just saying.
So, okay. All right. So is there anything else you wanted to cover or to share?
just for, I mean, I'm gonna put it on you. Is there anything else you would want to say, I guess, to recommend, particularly Black men, as to like why Black men need to mentor, even if it's not with iMentor? Obviously, I want mentors. I need mentors for iMentor. That's my job. That's what I get paid to do. But in general, why do we need Black men to mentor?
So it kind of started in the, I would say in the 80s, right? So when a lot of us went to jail, a lot of women had to run the household. And then what happened is that a lot of women was encouraged through welfare not to have men in the house. So we've had generations of men not being around, a Black man not being around. And it's become too familiar. It's become too comfortable. And to be honest, a lot of our youth don't know what it is to be a man. And they don't have any examples of what it is to be a man. The simplest thing, from tying a tie, from learning how to walk into a room, from learning how to greet another person when they first encounter them. There's those kind of simple things that our young boys are not being told. And one of the reasons why they're not being told is because there's no men around to tell them. I mean, yes, their mother can say, hey, be neat, make sure your clothes are clean, make sure your teeth is brushed and, you look well groomed. But, a man can only teach a man how to survive in the arena where men are. So I feel like this is one of many opportunities that Black professional men is connected with, that provides that platform for men to pour into young boys and young men. So we have this saying, we focus on 0 to 100. Because even as the president of Black professional men, I am a mentor, but I am a mentee as well. And so iron sharpens iron.
Thank you, Hassan, and thank you for the continued support of iMentor Baltimore.
No problem, thank you.
My share.